So this is Keeeb. Keeeb is a portal and it can be hooked into a variety of workflows, as I'll show you. I can run a search of interest. Perhaps I'm an analyst who's been asked back in March or April to go ahead and produce a document describing the likely coronavirus impact on the retail industry. So I can start going to all my sources, or I can fire up Keeeb and launch this against a variety of data sources. I get the search immediately. It takes just a few seconds versus probably at least a few minutes to go to each site, log in, and remember. You have a complete control center where you can decide which sources you want to use and enable or disable your authentication. You can see here, I'm actually focused on all of the sources that you can see here. And so I have a unified result list. There's some great looking content from Google. Here's some more. This is a LinkedIn connector. So we're able to search through the LinkedIn content. We'll see down here all kinds of additional stuff. Here's Forrester research. That's a great looking result. Some content from Accenture, which it appears I collected previously. Here's some Slack. We've been discussing this query a little bit. Further down, we're going to see some email discussions. We've been talking about this query and some of the customers who are interested in this particular problem. One search, a few seconds, one pane of glass. I can further drill in instantly to see what exactly maybe the best sources have for me. This McKinsey Pandemic Facts and Insights doc is terrific. Notice though, it's showing me far fewer pieces of result than OneDrive did. That's because it's actually scanning them for evidence of my query, not just that there may be a mention of one term. We actually OCR screenshots that you take, so we are able to grab the text right off of them. I can switch and dig into a really great silo like Forrester, where I may be very interested in what's happening. And that's the next part of Keeeb. Because once you solve the search problem and you can do this quickly and quickly slice through the results, narrow the timeframes, even focus in on authors, we give you something to do with the document. So here I have this excellent result. I can now collect this because ultimately I may want to share it. I may want to use it for collaborative purposes. So I can actually go ahead and bookmark this. I'll go ahead and place it in my retail research folder. Now, I don't actually have to collect the whole thing. If I wanted, I might say that this is a particularly interesting document here, and I really just want a section of it. Because, you know, knowledge is not always a document. Sometimes it's just a few paragraphs or sentences or an image. And so you can grab screenshots or full docs, as well as an individual piece. And so that brings me to the second part of Keeeb, which is I can have my assigned set of projects. I can also have my personal collecting topics. I can create these all day long. Here's my research project. Here are the two documents that we just created, or I just collected. I have a few others. I can jump into these, go ahead and add some commentary if I'd like. So for example, I could say that client X should see this. That comment immediately becomes visible. In addition, if I want, I can search across what else has been collected to see who else may have been tagging stuff for client X. Oh, interesting. It looks like it's mostly me so far. Another point, when I have a collection, I can share this collection. I can send it to almost anybody in my team, in my group. Oops, excuse me. So I'll add them, and then I can go ahead and click here on the permission level. I can define somebody as being a co-owner, a contributor, a consumer. I can also restrict them from sharing if I wish. We also have the ability to track the activity on all of this and also put rich notes, including formatting, embedding videos. So if I want to share this with someone and I want them to see my notes when they come here, we can have all of that in place. But I think the most important point here when we're searching is that there's a unique loop. The search is personalized, not just to the sources and information areas that I can access, for example, my part of OneDrive, but it's also searching what you and others in your organization have collected. Actually, that's the thing we bring to the results list first. So here you can see that, yes, I've done some collecting. You can see I can just collected these things. But actually, my colleague Mark Riera is also collecting. Here's another interesting point. When you collect items, Keeeb makes a real attempt to understand it in a very granular way. So for example, when you collect a PowerPoint deck, we actually match against the individual slides. So here I can pull up this individual slide that matches my query. I can also go for a full preview of the deck if I wish to right in place. So with this, I'm able to not only discover what I'm looking for in one search, not only to focus it on the sources that make the most sense, but to find what I and others have collected and perhaps what they thought about it. And then to share it allows me to start collaboration instantaneously.